Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing Rangers and Celtic's route to the Champions League group stage. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Scottish football content, and I'll see you in the video. For the first time in nearly a decade, the SPFL has two Champions League spots after impressive performances from Scottish teams in Europe, which has boosted the Scottish coefficient. However, unlike the Premier League and Europe's top 5 leagues, a Champions League space isn't at the group stage automatically, and Rangers and Celtic must navigate their way to the promised land via a series of qualifiers. As Rangers are champions, they must play two two-legged qualifiers to get to the group stage, and Celtic, who finished second, must play their way to the groups via three two-legged qualifiers. Let's start with the champions Rangers on who they can expect to get, whether they are seeded or unseeded, and when the ties will be played. With most of Europe's domestic campaigns having concluded, it's possible to make a fairly clear assessment of the teams who will stand in Rangers' way. The third qualifying round will be drawn on the 19th of July, and 6 seeded playing 6 unseeded clubs in the Champions Path, with Rangers being one of those seeded clubs. However, the identity of the 6 possible opponents will depend on who comes through the first 2 qualifying rounds. But for this video, I'll assume that the 6 teams with the highest coefficient go through, and in this case, Rangers won't play anyone better on paper than these 6 teams. Ludogorets Razgrad. Bulgarian's dominant club, and unlike Celtic, clinched their 10th consecutive league title with a few games to spare this season. Also this season, they finished bottom of their Europa League group. Malmo. They are a Swedish club and are the last team Rangers actually played in the Champions League back in 2011-12 at the third qualifying round stage. Malmo last played Champions League group stage football in 2015-16 season. CFR Cluj. They won the Romanian title this season after pipping FCSB to it with a few games to spare, and are also famous in Scotland for beating Celtic at this stage of the competition back in 2019-20. Legia Warsaw. They won the Polish league title for a second time in a row this season, and also have a recent history of Rangers after the famous beat them 1-0 in the 2019-20 season to reach the Europa League group stages. Ferencváros. Another side who have recent history with Celtic at this stage. Last season, Neil Lennon's side were knocked out by the Hungarian side, beaten 2-1. Sheriff Transpor. Sheriff are the Moldavian champions and are the lowest ranked side in the third round qualifiers, and also have never reached the Champions League group stage in their history. This is probably the team that every seeded club will want to play in this round. If Rangers do progress past this round, they will guarantee themselves a Europa League group stage football for next season. However, they will have to navigate themselves past one more round, that being the playoff round, if they want to get Champions League group football. However, the teams they will face off in the playoff round will be considerably harder, and Rangers will almost definitely be unseeded. These are the teams Rangers can expect to play should they progress to the next round, which will be drawn on August the 2nd. RB Salzburg. The Austrian champions, who celebrated their 8th consecutive league title at the weekend, will lose their highly rated coach Jesse Marsch to RB Leipzig this summer. However, RB Salzburg are a team that all unseeded teams will look to avoid, as they usually are a group stage regular in this competition. Dynamo Zagreb. Zagreb won the Croatian title this year for the 4th time in a row. They last got to the group stage in the 2019-20 season, and this year reached the quarter-finals of the Europa League after beating Tottenham Hotspurs. Slavia Prague. Slavia don't need any introduction to Rangers fans after Prague knocked out Rangers in the Europa League this season at the last 16 stage, but was disfigured by the racial abuse of Glenn Kamara, so this could be seen as a grudge match for Rangers fans. Olympiacos. The Greek champions, of whom reached the Champions League group stage this year, also finishing 3rd and going into the Europa League, and then did exit at the last 16 stage against Arsenal. Whoever Rangers are drawn against at this round, their 100% record under Gerrard in the qualifier stage will give optimism to Rangers supporters on getting through these qualifiers. They will be hard, but with Gerrard's record and Rangers' record over the last 3 seasons, they definitely have a chance, and a good chance at that. Whatever happens, Rangers will be guaranteed group stage football of some sort next season, with the introduction of UEFA's third competition, the UEFA Europa Conference League. If they lose the third qualifying round, they will enter the Europa playoff round, and if they lose that, they will go into the Europa Conference League. However, I have every faith Rangers can get to the promised land of the Champions League group stage. So whatever happens, if Rangers lose all of their qualifiers this summer and have just decided to take the summer off at the start of the season, then they will still be playing group stage football at least until December, no matter what, but just in the third tier competition with the likes of Tottenham and other teams that are in there also. Now moving on to Celtic. For the first time in what, as I said, 10 years, Scotland do get 2 places in the Champions League. However, Celtic will take that second place and they will have to do 3 two-legged qualifiers to get to the group stage of the Champions League. However, the Parkhead side may have been given a boost, and if they win that first round, they will be guaranteed at least Europa League group stage football until December, whereas the champions Rangers will have to play a playoff round should they lose the third qualifying round. It sounds very bizarre that Celtic get a slight advantage in UEFA's maze of qualifiers, but I think it's in place to protect and give the third place teams from France, Portugal, Russia and Belgium a spot in a group stage. Now, as I said before, Celtic will enter at the second qualifying round and will be seeded. Because of Villarreal's Europa League triumph last night, Galatasaray will no longer get that nudge up the pecking order and will be amongst Celtic's potential opponents. Here are the teams Celtic could face in the second qualifying round. Rapid Vienna. Rapid Vienna finished second in the Austrian Bundesliga and are remembered in Glasgow having been in the same Europa League group as Rangers in the 2018-19 season, in which they lost at Ibrox but beat Rangers in the home tie where they qualified over them. Galatasaray. Turkish runners-up who missed out on the title by goal difference of 1 goal. They also played Rangers last season in the Europa League playoff round, of which the governed side got the better of them. Midtjylland. Danish runners-up who missed out on the title on the final day by 1 point also have qualifier history with Celtic's rivals, having been beaten comfortably over 2 legs in the 1920 Europa League qualifiers. Now, if Celtic do progress past the second qualifying round, things get a bit more complex on whom they can face in the next round, as teams are coming from here, there and everywhere, entering at different rounds, depending on who wins and loses. So it's a lot harder to find out who they're going to play than it was for Rangers. However, one thing for certain is they will be unseeded going into this tie. But here's a little look at some of the teams that they could play in the next round. Shakhtar Donetsk, Benfica, Monaco, Genk, Spartak Moscow, PSV Eindhoven. So as you can see, the next round is a lot harder, with the teams that they could face are regulars in the Champions League group stage. And with Celtic's track record in the qualifiers, they will need to be at their best to qualify for the group stages of the Champions League. So there you have it, guys. That is the video. To conclude, really, Rangers and Celtic both have a tough route to the group stages, I suppose. Very complex. I mean, Rangers do have the advantage in terms of getting to the group stage. Only 2 ties to get there. The first tie being fairly easy, I suppose. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. But over the last couple of years, we've seen Celtic exit to those lesser teams, if you like, with Cluj and Ferencváros. So it's not as easy as it may seem to be on the eye. Celtic, I mean, of course, they just need to win that first or that second qualifying round. They'll be guaranteed Europa group stage football, which is a really phenomenal, really, if they can get there. But either way, we should see Rangers and Celtic at least in that Europa League group stage. Hopefully to see one of them in the Champions League would be amazing. But yeah, as I said, exciting times for Scottish football. If you want to see another video on maybe St Johnstone's route to the Europa League group stages and Aberdeen and Hibernian's route to the new third competition, the UEFA Conference League, then make sure you just comment below and say do another video on those teams. Smash that like button, subscribe for more Scottish football. As I said, we will be doing live streams for all of the Champions League qualifiers, Europa League qualifiers, and Europa Conference League qualifiers, guys. Thank you for the support. Press the like button if you enjoyed. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, and I'll see you all very, very soon.